Hello everyone and welcome to my coloring corner. Today is First Impressions Friday and we have a package here that's empty because I have already taken them out and put them in the pencil holder. These are the Artlicious 50 series um, and they come in a cardboard package, which bugs me, but I'll get over it. It's just a cardboard holder. So I have put them in the color order I thought they should be in the pencil holder here. I do have the Artlicious Artist Edition. They are a 72 count pencil, and they look like this. They have the color name, the PrimaSoft 4 here, because they are a 4mm core, and they're a very nice soft pencil. Um, They color beautifully. I haven't had a chance to color often with these, but I will be hopefully soon. So we will be comparing the two because they are the same brand. You can buy them off of the very same page in Amazon. And these ones are on sale right now. I have a coupon in my coupon codes for 10% off. They did have a 10% off coupon on the site as well. I don't know if that's still there. But between the sale price and the coupon that I have on my site, it brings you down to about $11. If not, well, between $11 and $12, something like that. So it is a fairly inexpensive set of pencils. But are they worth the $12? So we're going to figure that out today. First, we're going to do our swatch. So grab your cup of coffee, sit back, relax. This is not going to take more than a couple of minutes. So we'll get swatching if you're all ready. Okay, so that wasn't too bad. So we have them all swatched out and they all have their color names on them. Let's take a close look at the pencils themselves. I'm going to switch you over to the close-up camera here and we'll take a look at this one. So it does say Artlicious 50 series. So unlike the ones in the PrimaSoft, they do have a colored barrel. They are a bit thicker, which was amazing to me because they have a smaller core. They do have the color name and the Artlicious logo and stuff there. There is no color number or anything else. However, as you can see from the end here, if I can get it to focus, the Primo Soft has a much bigger core than the 50 series. So the Primo Soft are a softer pencil. They are an artist grade pencil. These are classified as a student grade pencil in their classifications. This is a good pencil for um, children, for students in the lower grades of high school, stuff like that. The colors of the swatch go from white to some light yellows into some darker yellows. This one here, which is Peach Puff, should be up here with the apricot and the sand. I misplaced those. The orange red looks more orange than orange. I think they may have messed up the names there because this one here looks like orange red and this one here looks like orange. And I looked at the pencils when I was putting them down, and yeah, it's definitely not the right color. It does have a good selection of reds, so it has some pink reds and some orange reds into our red reds. Now these two on camera look very similar. However, this one here is a little bit darker. Then we've got a burgundy red that looks a little bit more brown than burgundy to me. And we have a couple of light pinks or dark pinks, medium pinks. There isn't any extremely dark pink. I think the vermilion is the closest there is to a dark pink. And I put it there because in most cases, vermilion is an orange-red color. I was wrong. It's the same with cornflower. Cornflower is usually a very light purple blue. Yeah, no. Same with violet. Violet is usually a purpley color. And yeah, no. So I have some rearranging to do on the blues and the purples, but it has a huge amount of blues, like an unreasonable amount of blues, and not enough light blues as far as I'm concerned. I prefer at least one or two really pale baby blue colors. The Crillian I could have put up there, but and then it has a good selection of greens, so it goes from a very light green yellow to grass green, forest green, green, and then moss green and dark green down here. It has a really good selection of browns as well. It has our light tanny browns into our bronzes, some medium browns, some red brown, and some dark brown. I don't feel it has a light enough gray, but the silver can be used as a really light gray. And then, of course, our black, our gold, and our silver. And they are metallic-y, so they do have a metallic shine, which is wonderful. So in comparison, this is the Primo Soft. Now, the Primo Soft pencils are more pencils. You get more pencils, so you get more colors. So as you can see, you get a lot more yellows, a lot more peaches into the pinks. So if you are somebody that uses a lot more peaches and pink colors, definitely look at the Primo Soft colored pencils. Of course, you have your oranges, and it has a lot more of the lighter oranges. See, even here, the orange red is that color, not that color. So that one is tropical orange. So they got a couple of different things mixed up in the smaller set. But I should have known with vermilion that it was reddish color from this one. But it does have some great colors. Flamingo should be up here in the pinks. And of course I will rearrange as I go. We've got more purples in the Primo Soft as well, and a lot more of the teal greens. So the aqua kind of colors here. About the same amount of blues, amazingly. Let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So there's one extra blue, which is probably Dodger blue is nice, dark, light medium blue, but pretty close to the same amount of blues and in about the same spectrum as well. Same with the browns. We've got a couple extra browns in here in about the same spectrum that is available in this set. However, they do have a couple that are different, named the same but different colors. For example, coffee in this set is coffee in this set. So this one here is a lighter brown with a little bit more red. So this one is more of coffee with a little bit of creamer, where that's coffee as in black coffee. Same with, I think, was it sepia? No, this one doesn't have sepia. Um, Sienna is a red brown here and a tan brown here. Um, what else do we have here that's the same? Camel is a little darker here than it is here. Saddle brown is the same though. And we don't have sepia, so yeah, so about the same spectrum, just a couple of different names that are slightly off color-wise between the two sets. So together they make an awesome set. So I'm not worried about the overlap because there isn't a whole lot of overlap in the color spectrum. There are a couple that are fairly close, but not the same. All right, so we're going to do a couple of different tests. Let me find my little circle maker. Where is it? I always stick it in a drawer, in one of these drawers, and I can never remember which one of these drawers I stuck it in. Isn't that horrible? You would think I would know exactly where it is because I use it. But no, I always forget exactly what drawer I put it in. Alright, so we have our circle maker here, and we're going to take the black pencil. Actually, no, we're going to take this ballpoint pen. And it's one of my sparkle pens. And we're going to put down a few little circles for our water test. So there's 1, 2, 3. We're going to use that for water, and then we're going to use this one for smudge. So I hope everybody has had a good week. It is Friday. Yay, Friday. So we will be, of course, doing our color and chat tomorrow to start over our week and pick a new picture and pick a new medium. We are still working with the water medium, so tomorrow I am going to give you a couple of options maybe. So I haven't been lately giving options. I've been just going with what floats my boat at the time. So this is water resist. This is smudge. This is blend. So this one here is a gradient blend, so I'm going to put a G there. And this one here is pencil blend, blending with a blender pencil. And then we are going to do our, oh, actually that's not what that's supposed to be. This is supposed to be the rainbow. I almost forgot how I do this. And this one here is blend with pencil and pen, because I now have a blender pen, so we will try it with that. And between, and then I'm going to do erasability here. Okay, so I think that's about all of our tests that we normally do. So we're going to take a yellow, so let's look at the right chart. Let's grab straight yellow, because this set does have a straight yellow, a straight red, and a straight blue. That's what we're going to use. I think this one, yeah. And straight blue. And that way we can honestly say it's red, yellow, and blue. All right. And then I think down here we might even do a comparison for red, yellow, and blue from the other set. All right. So let's test the sharpenability of them. I've got my Tagal here. They sharpen quite nicely. Now, I did not do the scratch thing because they are a very dry pencil. They do feel a little drier in the brown or the greens and the blues. Just picking up a bit of that pen, so of course, because I went over that one a few times. So there's our yellow. Hopefully I don't wash all the ink off. Just pressing a little bit harder to make sure I get a full coverage of a heavy color, because when you're going to use your water mediums on top of pencil, it is when you are done with the pencil. So I'm putting down a good layer of the pencil because that's usually when you go near it with the water medium. Sorry. Where's my brush? I don't know where my brush is. It's in my angel. Brush that off. Make sure that all of the pencil fragments are gone. And then again, we're going to sharpen this one. So I am using a handheld sharpener. There we go. And I'm not completely shattering the cores, the tips. So that is a good thing. That tells me that their tips are quite solid. If I can use a handheld sharpener and sharpen things, then you know they're good. They're good to be sharpened. Because I always break things with those handheld sharpeners. Especially if I'm just quickly sharpening something. Okay, so there's our red for our water test. Alright, now we're going to dust that off. We're going to grab our water brush. And I have one here that's full of water. And it's a fresh one, so we know it's not contaminated with somebody else's color. Alright, so just going to, and that does run quite a bit. And I'm not using a lot of water. I'm just using a little bit of water on it. Let's see if the blue does the same. And as you can see on the brush itself, I've picked up quite a bit of blue. So it definitely does it as well. Let's see if the red does. Red and blue are usually the culprits that will run. And yes, the red does as well. So definitely a fail on the water test. Make sure that you go over your pencil with a blender to seal it into the page before putting your water substance on top, because it will run. Alright, so let's do the smudge test. Once again, I'm putting down a full heavy layer because when you move on and end up rubbing your hand against it, it is because it's finished area. And when you have a finished area, it's always going to have the maximum amount of color that you can put down, or the height of color that you want to put down. I'm not saying that, so you have to completely kill the tooth with your color, but sometimes, when you burnish and finish off an area, you don't expect it to rub off. and you rub your hand against it, and next thing you know, you have an area that has rubbed off, which sucks. Alright, so let's get that on there. I'm going to make sure I dust off any extras so that it's just the pencil area that we put down. Oh, red's not rubbing. Blue's not rubbing. And the yellow, let's see. So the red moved just a touch, but the blue and the yellow didn't move at all. So I would say that's a pass on this smudge test. Now we're going to do a gradient blend here. So we're going to take the red and we're going to take a pink and we're going to take mallow, which is a reddish purple. And we're going to do a 3-color blend and see if we can blend them together without getting lines. I'm going to sharpen the pink and the mallow. I've already sharpened the red. Oh, let's not drop it. Okay, so we're going to go from red to mallow to pink. So let's start here. Remember to leave your tail. And I do believe, I'm not sure, let's see the box. I can't remember if it said they were oil-based or wax-based. It does not state whether they're an oil-based or a wax-based pencil. But it does say it creates superior blending. So we've got our red. I'm just going to put down an extra layer here, leaving that tail open for the purple to blend into. And then we're going to take our mallow and we're going to start in the red and come out. And then we're going to put down another layer over top of that red. And take another layer of the red. Just creating that level of blend. And we're going to bring that out a little bit more and go a little bit darker there. And there we have our blend there. Sometimes, so with the amount of building of color that I'm having to do here, I would say that these are a oil-based pencil. Alright, now we're going to go in with the baby pink and we're going to go into this area that we left with the mallow and we're going to come off of it, creating that other color and that seamless blend with the mallow. So as you can see here, we've got a medium red, a dark red into that purple. Now what we're going to do is we're going to go from that purple to the pink. So we're going to have a dark purple area here blending into that pink with a lighter purple. That's what should happen. That's my intention anyway. I can't say that, it's going to happen, but that's my intention. So I'm just going back and forth between that mallow color and the pink, getting it to blend together in a gradient blend there. And like I said, with the fact that I'm having to go back and forth between the two pencils to get that coat to a point where I want it, tells me that it's an oil-based pencil. Alright, so there we have our blend. We have our red, our purple, and our pink, and they do blend together without too much of a seam, which is great. So now we're going to put our red back with our blue and yellow. I'll put these two aside. So I think it did quite well with that blend. So now we're going to start with our red. we're going to do our rainbow blend. So once again, start with our red, leaving that edge off a little bit lighter and darkening over here. So there's two. There we go. Now we're going to go in. Let's even that up a little. Just looks a little off. You don't want it too even because you're going to be going in with your yellow. Into that little spot that you left loose. And of course we're going to go over it with the red again. Just darkening up that red and blending it into that yellow. And then we're going to use the yellow again. Creating that orange color. And it does seem to be pulling that red into the yellow, which is making a darker yellow. Let's see, is it on my pencil? Yeah, a little bit. So be careful of that when you're blending. It does seem to pull the darker color into that lighter color. Now we're going to go into the yellow with the blue. Creating that green. And it does create that green. I'm just going to smooth over the edge. Like so. So we do get a red, orange, yellow, green, blue. So it does give us that rainbow effect. Now I could also take the red and put it here at the end with the blue and create that purple, but it's not necessary. So it does quite well with that. Now we're going to take a color, let's do blue, and we're going to do this area here, and I'm doing it very lightly, leaving some white spot open, and I'm just going to put down about 10 layers, 5 or 10 layers, very light layers. This is not heavy-handed. I'm not even holding the pencil down at the end of the pencil. Just enough to put down a good amount of pigment for the blender pencil to move. If you don't have enough pigment down for the blender pencil to move, it will start lifting up your page and start lifting up basically it'll start scraping your paper and scraping your pencil off the paper. And that's not what we want. We want it to move it around and blend it into what we want. Sorry, had to get my blender. So this is the Caran d'Ache blender stick, and I'm just going to do this top area here and see how it does with that. Definitely an oil-based pencil. The Caran d'Ache is doing nothing but lifting it up. So that tells me also that it's an oil-based pencil. The Caran d'Ache pencil blender does not usually like oil-based pencils very much. So this is a Derwent blender, which is created for oil. I don't know if it's created just for oil-based pencils, but that's what I usually use it on. And as you can see, it's moving that pencil around, filling in the white spots. It lifts it up just a little bit, not a whole bunch. If I had a little bit more pencil on the page there, it probably wouldn't have lifted it up at all. So definitely works well with the blender pencil I normally use for oil-based pencils. So this one here I'm going to do in red. And basically what the blender pen itself does is it breaks down the binder and moves the pigment around. So you have to be careful when doing this that you don't have a picture on the other side that has been colored, because it will go through the page. Also have to be careful that if you're on a thin paper that you don't put too much of the blender on for it to send the color itself through the page. I'm using a cardstock, Nina cardstock, so I'm not too concerned about that. And it does blend quite nicely, but it does also pick up quite a bit of the color. So as you can see, the tip of my blender there is very red. And if I go over here, I can actually color that red. So be careful with that as well. Make sure that you have enough on there that if the blender pencil does pick it up, you can easily just move it around and not lose the depth of color that you want there. Okay, we're going to check and see. I have a Faber-Castell eraser here. So we're going to see if we can erase that after it's been blended. And with the blender pencil, yes, it's not perfect, but it can be erased with that pencil. We also have something that a lot of people prefer to use, which is the Mono Zero. Again, can be erased with that, still leaves some behind. And the last one we're going to try, of course, is the electric eraser. This is the AFMAT. And as you can see, it works just as well with the AFMAT. The AFMAT just leaves more gook. I think I just had it out a little bit too far. So let's see if the pen erases. So as you can see with the pen, it doesn't erase as well with the AFMAT. It leaves that pink undertone, severe pink undertone. But it does erase. So this is with my blender, my eraser pencil, and as you can see there is quite a bit of color that has come off of that. And so it does erase off with the zero, but it does take a little bit more pressure. I think the best eraser if you're going to blend with that marker pen is one of these Faber-Castell eraser pencils. All right, so that is the different projects or different testing that I normally do. It only really failed one, and that's the water test. So I think for a budget-friendly student grade pencil, I think it's done very well for blending, for the blending of 3 colors to get 5, as well as the pencil blend and the pen blend as well. Like I said, with using that blender pen, you want to be very careful not to put down a light layer and try to blend that around. You may lose the depth of color. So try to make sure that you have a full level of color down before you use the blender pen. We did get the gradient blend between 3 colors from red into purple into pink, as well as the gradients into those 5 colors there. It didn't smudge when rubbing against it. The red moved just a slight amount. However, with water, they moved a lot. So Of course, make sure that you seal it with your blender pencil, or if you are going to use water over it, I always suggest to use this blender pencil after you've blended, just to seal that area, because this is a wax, a heavy wax. And when you seal over it, here, I'll show you here. I'm going to seal this one, and I'm just going to color right over top of it with that blender pencil. And then I'm going to take my water brush. Where did I put it? Did I put it back? I think I did. This one will work. What did I do with that water brush? I put it somewhere. It's right here. Okay, so as you saw up here, this one moved quite a bit. Now I've sealed this one. See how it barely moves at all? I think that's more the edge that I didn't seal than anything else. But the comparison between the two movements is quite a lot. So if you are going to use a lot of water product on your pencil art, I would make sure that I use a blender pencil, either the Caran d'Ache or a white wax pencil, before going over it with the water product, because it will pick up. Alright, so let's do a comparison between a couple of colors from the 50 series and the Pro series here. Let's see, I know there's a blue in here. So let's do the blue. So there's our blue. And let's do yellow. Let's do yellow, blue, and red since they're all already out in this one. Yellow, blue. Let's see, is there a baby pink in here? No. No. But there is a pink, so we'll compare those two too. And red. Now the camera doesn't show a perfect amount of color put off by these pencils, or put off by any pencils, especially my close-up camera. So if they look a little pale to you, don't worry about it. It's actually the camera that's doing that. So we will look at it on the other camera just to verify the colors. So we're going to use these four, and we're going to compare to these four. So we have our pink, yellow, blue, and red, and they are all named pink, yellow, blue, and red. So we're going to do the Artlicious here. So let's do the first line. We're going to do the Artlicious. And the lay down is a lot smoother in my opinion. And I do feel that these ones are more of a wax. Just with the way they lay down, the way they smush together. Like I can put a heavy pressure on them and they lay down really, really, really nicely. And then underneath I'm going to put the 50 series. And the 50 series to me feels chalkier. It feels drier. And I have something on this one, probably from the pin up there. So, but this is a deeper color than this one here, in my opinion. But both cover quite nicely in a minimal amount of space. So let's try our red. So again, we're going to go with the Artlicious here. I'm going to tip you up here so you can actually see what I'm doing. And you can put as much pressure on this 4-inch core, or not 4-inch core, 4 millimeter core. 4-inch core, that would be a massive core, wouldn't it? as you want. And just remember it's a fairly soft pencil. So the lighter you are, of course, the lighter the color is going to be, and the more layers you're going to have to add. The heavier handed you are, the less layers you're going to have to add, and of course, the deeper the color is going to be. It's the same as this one here. The harder you are on your hand, the more color that's going to be put down. However, because this is a harder pencil, the harder you are on your hand, the more the less tooth you're going to have to blend that with something else or to get a full color spectrum on the page. As you can see, this one here is slightly darker than this one here, and I think I need to put one more layer on there because I think I put more layers on the top part. Yeah, that's closer. So I'm going to brush that off. So this one here has a little bit more of an orange tint to it than this one here. This one, both of these laid down a lot smoother. This one wasn't hard to lay down. It just had a bit of a chalky experience. A little bit drier of an experience, I should say. Now we'll go into the blue. And I found the blue in the 50 series to be a little bit scratchier when I was doing the swatch. This one here, of course, is butter smooth. They are very, very soft to go down, and they continue to build that color. Now, like I said, you can choose your own pressure. You know, if you're a medium heavy-handed person or a one and done kind of person, you can get that effect with these Artlicious pencils. But it is going to be one and done. You will fill that tooth of the page by pushing too hard on your pencil. That will happen with any colored pencils, except for maybe Prismas. Prismas are very interesting pencil. You can do all sorts of things with Prismas you can't do with other ones. All right, so the Artlicious was very smooth on the blue and quite a bit more pigmented than the blue on the, so the Primo Soft are more pigmented than the 50 series. The 50 series did feel a little bit scratchy, and I was able to get more color down with the Primo Soft. Okay, so the last color we're going to test is the pink. And this is just straight pink because they didn't have baby pink. So we'll see how close it is to the color of baby pink. I think it's looking pretty close. Again, I'm not pushing hard. I can. I'll put a bit of a medium pressure on it here, just so that you can see that you can still build up that color with that medium pressure. If you put down a heavy hand, you will fill the tooth of the page, and you will find that you can't add any more color to it, and that the color will start to lift off as well. Just finish that up there. Okay, so that's the Primo Soft Pink. And like I said, because of the way the camera sees color, unfortunately sometimes it washes it out. That is a fairly light pink. It looks really good actually on the camera today. So if I move in the light, it might be a problem. This is the baby pink from the 50 series. And as you can see, it's got a different tint to it. And I'm going to go in with a medium hand here. Now I went in with a medium hand, and going over it with a lighter hand does seem to be lifting that color up a bit, not adding to it. So try to make sure that you layer these pencils. The PrimaSoft you can put down a heavy hand and still go over it without lifting up the pencil. But as you can see on the tip of this pencil, I have picked up quite a bit of that pencil trying to add more color to it. So a definite difference in the tones here. We have this one here which is just straight pink, this one here which is baby pink, because they don't have just a straight pink in the 50 series. And as you can see, there is a difference in color, there is a difference in coverage. I put a medium hand on this one as well as a light area and was able to build up both areas. Where with this one, once I put down that medium hand, that tooth was filled and it would not add any more color to that. So if you do get the 50 series, be careful on how much pressure you put on your pencil. So that is the comparison between the two. I think personally the PrimaSoft is one that I would prefer. And the 50 series. They are just a little bit more of a higher quality pencil. However, mixed in with the 50 series, you may find that you get a really, really good 172 set of pencils. So be careful. No, 122 set because it's 72. These are 72 and this one here is 50. So let's do our math here because I bought these for $11.90. I think that's how much they were. They are without my coupon about $13. So let's do that one. So let's do $14 because that's the closest and rounded up. So they're $14 for the 50 series. And we'll grab our calculator because my brain doesn't like to work. And we have 50 pencils divided by $14. So it comes out to 3 cents, 3.5 cents a pencil. So for 3.5 cents a pencil, it's not a bad price for what you get. Equals 3.5 cents per pencil. The PrimaSoft are a 72 set and they are $20 for a set. So once again, we're gonna play devil's advocate here. I find they are a bit higher quality, so I do find that they are worth that $20, even if it is a smaller set of pencils. Well, it's larger than the 50 series, but comparative to other sets of pencils that are out there. So let's, of course, once again, do the calculator. So we have 72 divided by, nope, yeah. And once again, it's $3 or 3.6 cents, which is about the same. So the cost between the two of them on a regular or on a sale base, and this one here isn't a sale base, is the same. So this is 3.6, 3.5. So basically, they're the same price. This set here, the 50 series, will go up. That $14 is the sale price. So I think for your money and for yeah, for your money and for grade and stuff like that, I do find that the PrimaSoft is a better product. They are a thicker core. They lay down a lot nicer. They do seem to have most of their cores very centered, but I didn't see too many uncentered in the 50 series either. So yeah, for my money, I would definitely say that the PrimaSoft are a better product. And that's just my opinion. Because I don't want, Art, Artlicious coming after me or anything. This is just my opinion. Um, so I'm going to put these um, Prima Soft away, and we're going to flip this over, and we're just going to color a little bit with them and see how well they do coloring wise. We've got about 10 minutes left. So we're going to color this one, of course, because that's the one we always color. And we're going to take our mallow. And we're going to put some mallow down here. It was a lot of fun doing um, the swatch chart with the multicolored pencils from Kohinoor, the tritones. It was a lot of fun playing with those. I will have to pull those out again after our water month is done. Just because I want to play with them. So after our water month is done, so in March, we will be doing, we will be working with Monya March. That is a hashtag that is out every year. So we will be coloring Monya Gates' work in March. So we're going to actually start our um, color pencil selection starting with our A's. So I have a bunch of different pencils, such as the Artlicious, that are being neglected. I don't like neglecting them. I like giving them some attention because they are beautiful pencils. So we will be doing that starting in March. We will go through every week and we will do them alphabetically, and we'll start off with the A's and work our way up and play with some of these pencils that are just sitting on my shelves. I do play with them. If you want to join us over in Discord, we do have a live chat room that we do have our cameras and our voice and that sort of thing. And we do sit there a lot of times and just color. I do have several people that just come in, sit, and chat. But I also have several people that find it more relaxing to color with somebody. So they come in and they hang out and they chat and color, which is great. I am one of those people that really does enjoy um, coloring and chatting at the same time and just, sharing ideas, which is fantastic. Now, I went through with the mallow and I'm also going through with the baby pink. Now I'm going to take the coral pink and I'm just going to do the edge here with a bit darker of a pink. And they are blending together very nicely. I'm getting a very lovely blend as well as a nice deep color in the colors that are supposed to be deep. The baby pink is supposed to be a fairly light color, and it is staying a nice light color. But it is blending into that mallow and dropping that shade down a little bit. Toning down the shade. It's adding a little bit of that light pink to it, which is giving it a good shadow, but not a dark color, which is awesome. And that is exactly what you want when you do a blend like that, is we want the colors to complement each other and to tone each other down when necessary. Um, Another thing I was going to talk to you about yesterday, I did a video about using your ink tints all the way. So not wasting anything from your ink tints, and that is the um, basis behind the video. The product that I created was not my best, and was not something that I actually liked. So I'm a little bit disappointed in my performance on that. So I am going to fix it. And I will do that on video. And I do believe that will be Tuesday's video for Topic Tuesday of how to fix what you don't like. Sometimes you have to go extreme, and we'll see if I had to go extreme. But yeah, I make mistakes. I make lots of mistakes sometimes, and sometimes it's not the best work. The reason behind the video was to show you that you don't have to waste anything of your Inktense pencils. Everything can be used. And I do believe I accomplished that, but I didn't like the outcome. I'm very, very picky with my backgrounds, and I didn't like it. So I will be doing that over again, and I will be working on um, repairing that. And I will go through on Tuesday and show you all the different ways that you can repair that. Sometimes you have to go extreme, sometimes not so much, but we'll see. We'll see how we had to do it. Once again, just going back and forth between the light pink and the baby pink and the dark pink, which is coral pink. I'm using that baby pink to tone down that mallow purple. And then I'm using the coral pink just to put a little bit of an emphasis on the pink on the edges where that petal is turning under. So this area here where that is turning under, I'm using that darker pink. I'm having a bit of a problem with my printer. I'm not sure if it's this paper or not, but for some reason my ink keeps lifting up, which is driving me crazy. So once again, just going through and turning that purple area into more of a shadow, blending it together so it looks like it's all one area. And of course, I will continue this and finish this off. I'm not having any issues after sharpening these pencils. They are a little bit drier than I find the other Artlicious pencils to be. But they do lay down quite nicely. They do blend together quite nicely. The only ones I find that are a lot drier and a little bit, I guess scratchy would be the word. They're they don't scrape the paper, but they don't feel like really nice against the paper, if that makes sense. Is the blues. I found the blues to be a lot less pleasant to color with, is I guess the best way to say that. They're not tearing at the paper, so there's no chunks of uncombined pigment in there. It's just the pigment that is in there is just a little drier than they've not put in enough of the binder, which has caused a drier feel to the pencil, which does happen. I don't like it, but it does happen. And normally I would be more concerned with it if it was more pencils. It is quite a few of these really, really dark blues, like this one here. I think this one had a little bit of a scratch, and oddly enough, the greens didn't scratch at all, which also, perplexed me because it's usually the greens or the reds, the browns that are really, really scratchy. because it's hard to mix in enough pigment to get those colors. It takes a lot of pigment, and sometimes they don't mix it enough and you end up with that scratchiness. But I was really quite surprised that the greens in this set are really smooth, comparative especially to the blues. And they work really nice. I like the greens in this set. But I also like the colors in most sets, so I like greens. Greens, pinks, purples. Actually, I like all color. All right. So, okay, so we've got that all covered. And like I said, I've only used 3 colors here. You'll only use uh, the pink tones and our reddish purple tone. The purple tone works really, really well for the shadows. Now, I do know that I probably am using the wrong colors for as far as the um, rules of color, but it's the way I like to color. I am not well versed in color theory, and to tell you the truth, I'm really not too concerned with it. I just like it. I pick colors I like and I work them together. Sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. I'm not overly particular. And there we have our purples, or our pinks, I should say, our blossoms. All right, so I'm going to add some yellow here to the center. And I will continue and I will finish this up before I put it in my chart. Now I am probably going to redo them because I don't like this mess up here that I've made. So I will probably end up redoing this chart. So I'm not too concerned about getting all of the bottom part here done. However, I do want to show you some of the greens blended together. So this one here is grass green. So we're just going to do our greens. And then I think I'm going to say thank you for watching. And we will see you tomorrow for our Start Over Saturday. Of course, that will be at 10 o'clock Pacific Standard Time in the AM. So if you are in Eastern Time, that would be 1 o'clock your time. If you're in Central, that would be 12 o'clock your time. Now, as I'm coloring down, I didn't sharpen this, and I am feeling a little bit of a scratch. So let's sharpen it and see if it's just the outer casing, because sometimes they dip them in weird things. Nope, nope, there's a scratch in there. There's a bit of pigment in there. I don't think that has broken down, and it's causing it to be a little bit scratchier than I like. Which is weird because when I was doing the swatch sheet, the greens did really well. Now it's made me a liar. Darn greens. But it's still easily worked. You just work past it. Sometimes you can just color past it. It's just a small chunk, and that's what I've done. Yeah, it's gone now. So I colored right past it. It was just a small, small smidge that made it a little bit drier than I liked. And that happens. So now we're going to go in with green. We're going to sharpen it this time. Try to make sure that I don't get any bits that I don't like, because I'm picky. And we're going to go in with the greens. Now these colors, once again, the colors themselves are drier than the other Artlicious pencils. So if you own the other Artlicious pencils and you decide to purchase these to complement your Artlicious pencils, that's exactly what they will do. However, if you buy these thinking that they're going to be better than your other Artlicious pencils, you will be disappointed because they are not better. They are a lower grade, they are a smaller core size, and they are not as smooth. However, there are color differences between the two sets, so they will complement each other. And that's what I'm going to use them for, is to complement each other. Because, like I said, some of them are a little bit sketchy, and when you mix them with a softer pencil, sometimes you can utilize that dry pencil to your advantage. And there we have our greens. Okay, so there we have our English rose, and that's basically what this flower is an English rose. I did look it up because it was driving me crazy. I thought maybe it's a cherry blossom, maybe an apple blossom. Nope, it's an English rose. I was wrong, but I did look it up and I did figure it out because it was driving me batty. Okay, so I think the last thing we're going to do is a ladybug here because I got to do the ladybugs. I like the ladybugs. So I'm just going over it with the red, and then we'll take a deeper red and we will cover the dark areas. Now the reason why I'm doing it that way is because I want the deeper areas to stand out a little bit more, and I want that lighter area, the lighter red, to be the highlight. So I'm going to grab the deep red here. So this one here is called strong red, and I'm going to sharpen it. I'm going to move that up so you can actually see it better. I'm going to sharpen a little bit more. And we're going to go into these areas here and strengthen up that red in that area. Same with down here. Like that. Alright, and then we're going to take our black and we're going to do the same thing. We're going to take our sharpener, give it a good sharpen, and then we're going to strengthen his little dots and his little legs and his little face. And then we'll go over the whole thing with our light red again, just to make sure that we have the right coloring. There we go. Go around his little face here, his little antennae. You know, sometimes you think, well, why would I want to go over the black areas? Or why would I want to go over the white areas? And sometimes it really does make a difference. Alright, so there is our little bug. Now I'm going to just take the red and just make sure that we get all of those little areas blended in. Then we're actually going to take our white. This is going to see how well this white works. And we're just going to put a little bit of white in the red there. And it works quite well, actually. It does quite nicely. Very cool. So we're just going to do an experiment here. So over top of the black, you can actually see the white, which is really cool. Usually it will blend right into it and become just black. A lighter color of black. So yes, the white actually works quite nicely in this set. All right, guys, that is the first impressions of the Artlicious 50 series. They are a smaller core than the Artlicious Primo Soft. They are a less expensive grade of pencil. However, they are not less expensive than the Artlicious Primo Softs. They are about the same cost. So, in my opinion, for my money, I would definitely say the Primo Soft would be the first ones I would go for. And the 50 series would be something that would complement that 72 series very nicely. It is a drier pencil. It is not as soft as the Primo Soft colored pencils. However, sometimes a mixture of a dry pencil and a soft pencil works out really nicely. There are color differences between um, this set and the Primo Soft set. And I'm just going to zip you in here just a little bit. I had it zoomed out for a reason and I can't remember what it was. Um, but there is the color arrangement. I only have a 48 chart. I don't have a 50 chart, so the gold and silver got their own little space there. It does have a lot of blue. I don't know what it is with some of the lesser expensive brands that will overkill you with blue. I don't find it has enough purple. It definitely doesn't have enough of that light lavender, pale lilac kind of color. And they are dry. There are a few pencils in here that are outright almost scratchy. So make sure that you sharpen your pencils before you use them, because I do believe there's a coating on the outside of the pencil. What else was I going to say? It did pass our smudge test, our blend test, our rainbow test, our pencil blend test, our pen blend test, and our eraser test. It did fail the water test. So if you are going to use a water product with these pencils, make sure you seal it first. They do smudge a little bit, so be careful. If you are a heavy acid in your skin type of person or a heavy oil in your skin type of person, I would make sure that you be careful when you go over any pencil product. The differences between the Primo Soft and the 50 series aren't a huge amount of difference. I do find that the blues to be less pigmented than the Primo Soft. The pinks are a different shade, but of course I don't have baby pink in the Primo Soft. Um, but other than that, to lay down with a medium hand and then try to go over it on the 50 series. Once you go into that with that medium to heavy hand, you can't add any more. It's going to kill the tooth right flat outright. Once again, I said that the price is about the same for each pencil between the Primo Soft and the 50 series at this point of time. The 50 series is on sale. I do have a coupon on my Enable Station post on my community page that will bring that down to about $11. But without that coupon, it's $13.99 or something like that. So it does work out to be 0.1 cent higher for the 72 Primo Softs. So, yeah, if once again, they're a good set of pencils. They do have their issues, much like most budget-friendly student grade pencils do. This is not a high quality artist grade pencil. It is not light fast. It is not waterproof. It is not I don't know what else you would be going off, but it's definitely not something that you would want to do a high quality, high grade picture and sell it with. They do work wonderfully for your coloring books and for your coloring projects. Now, if you are somebody that has some issues with your hands, I would definitely suggest, but if you are looking at trying to decide between the two of these, I would definitely suggest you use the Primo Soft pencils. You can put down a heavy hand on them or a medium hand and still move that pigment and add more pigment to it without completely killing the tooth of the paper. These would take a bit more work to get a level of color that you would get from one or two layers of the Primo Soft. Yeah, other than that, guys, it's a nice set of pencils and a great addition to the Primo Softs. Other than that, I would like to, of course, say remember to like, comment, and subscribe. If you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. I do put out a video every day except for Sundays, and I do go live on Wednesday afternoon at 3 o'clock Pacific Standard Time, or on Saturday morning at 10 o'clock a.m. Pacific Standard Time. I do this because I have several different time zones that watch me, so I like to be able to interact with each and every one of them. All right, so always remember to be kind to one another, relax, color, and stay safe. Until tomorrow, guys, bye bye for now.